If you spend enough time inside modern BMW vehicles, you eventually realize that the key sitting in your pocket is no longer just a simple remote. It's actually a highly secure encrypted device that communicates with multiple vehicle modules. And in newer BMW G-series models, that security layer has become significantly more complex. What used to be a straightforward key programming job has now evolved into a much more technical process, especially when you're dealing with the BDC2 system and encrypted keys. Understanding how these keys can be copied correctly without damaging the original data is something that many technicians struggle with the first time they encounter it. Welcome back to Baabji Motors. My name is Hussein, and on this channel we dive deep into real workshop procedures, diagnostic tools, and the practical knowledge technicians actually use in the field every day. Before we go any further, a quick note. Everything discussed here is shared strictly for educational and informational purposes to help technicians, locksmiths, and automotive learners understand how these systems work. Any images or references used in demonstrations fall under educational fair use, and all vehicle trademarks remain the property of their respective manufacturers. Always follow proper safety procedures, manufacturer recommendations, and your local regulations whenever you perform work on a vehicle. Now here's something worth thinking about while we go through this process. When BMW introduced encrypted BDC2 keys in the G-series platform, many technicians assumed that copying or preparing a replacement key would require full vehicle access or complex programming to the car itself. But with the right hardware and proper procedure, it's actually possible to duplicate an encrypted BDC2 key directly through the key's chip data. The question is this: how can we safely copy that encrypted key data without risking the original working key? Stay with me until the end, because I'll walk you through the full process using the Yanhua Mini ACDP system and also explain a few important safety details that many tutorials forget to mention. Let's start with the hardware required for the job. For this process, you'll need the Yanhua Mini ACDP programmer, either the ACDP1 or the newer ACDP2 hardware. You'll also need Module 38 activated, which supports BMW BDC2 and BDC3 key operations. Along with that, you need the Yanhua solder-free adapter designed specifically for BMW BDC2 and BDC3 key work. Finally, you'll obviously need the original working key and the new key you want to copy the data into. The replacement key can be a brand new OEM key or even a second-hand lock key, as long as the chip type is compatible. Before starting the procedure, the software environment must be updated properly. The ACDP PC software should be version 1.0.64 or newer. If you're using the ACDP2 platform, the PC software version should be 2.0.58 or higher. The Android mobile application should be updated to version 3.0.141 or later, while the iOS application should be version 3.6.4 or higher. Running older software can cause communication errors or incomplete data reading, so verify these updates first is extremely important. Now let's talk about identifying the original BDC2 key. The first step is to carefully disassemble the working key. Inside the BDC2 encrypted key, you'll find a circuit board that contains a long rectangular main chip. This long chip design is one of the easiest ways to visually recognize that you're dealing with a BDC2 encrypted key rather than older FEM or BDC1 designs. Once the key is opened, connect the key to the ACDP system using the ICP interface board and the BMW key adapter. This solder-free connection is one of the main advantages of the Yanhua platform because it allows secure chip communication without risky soldering on small electronic components. After the hardware is connected, open the ACDP application and navigate to the BMW menu. The path typically goes through the BMW section, then FEM and BDC systems, then the Immobilizer and mileage category, followed by the BDC02 or BDC03 encrypted key ICP copy function. From there, you select the option for a BDC02 key with a rectangular main chip. The first operation is reading the original key data. The system will communicate with the key chip through the ICP interface and extract the encrypted data stored inside. Once the reading process completes, the application will display important information, including the vehicle identification number, the key identification number, and other encrypted key parameters. At this stage, it is extremely important to verify the information shown on the screen. Always take a screenshot of this data as a backup record. The system will also create a backup file that ends with a .bin extension. This binary file contains the key data and should be stored safely because it can be used later if you need to restore or reprogram the key. Pay attention to the file details as well. The backup should clearly show the storage path, the date and time of the operation, the vehicle identification number, and the key identification number. Keeping this documentation helps prevent confusion when working with multiple vehicles. Once the original key data has been successfully saved, the next step is preparing the new key that will receive the copied data. This replacement key must also be disassembled so you can confirm the chip layout and connect it to the ACDP interface board. The Yanhua system allows writing this data to BDC3 style keys and even to BMW LCD display keys, which means technicians have flexibility when choosing replacement key hardware. Both brand new keys and previously locked secondhand keys can be used if the chip architecture is supported. Now here is a step that often causes mistakes if technicians are not careful. When preparing to write the new key, you must remove the original working key from the ICP interface and replace it with the new key you want to program. The adapter has a small dip switch that changes the chip configuration between BDC2 and BDC3. For writing to the replacement key, you switch the adapter to the BDC3 position. Once the new key is connected properly, the ACDP application allows you to select the option for writing a BDC3 key with a square main chip. The system will again communicate with the chip and prepare it to receive the data. A critical warning here: never connect the original working key during the writing process. If the original key remains connected while the software attempts to write new data, it could overwrite or corrupt the original key information. That can make the original key invalid, which is obviously something every technician wants to avoid. After the new key data is written, the system allows you to read the key again to verify the result. This verification step confirms that the encrypted data was successfully copied and that the key information matches the original BDC2 key data. Again, it's a good practice to take a screenshot and save the generated backup file with the .bin extension. When the verification is complete, select the correct original BDC2 key data file within the application and confirm that the displayed vehicle information matches the original record. Once everything matches, finalize the write operation. At this point, the encrypted key copy process is complete. Both the original key and the new key can be reassembled. After reassembly, the final step is always functional testing on the vehicle. Check remote locking and unlocking, verify that the vehicle recognizes the key, and confirm that the engine start authorization works normally. So coming back to the question we asked earlier about copying encrypted BMW BDC2 keys safely, the answer is that it's absolutely possible when correct reading, backup, and writing procedures are followed carefully. The key is always preserving the original data first, verifying every step, and making sure the working key is never connected during the writing stage. From my experience working with different BMW Immobilizer systems, the Yanhua ACDP platform has become one of the safer methods for key copying because of its solder-free adapters and controlled ICP communication. That said, no tool replaces good technician habits. Careful backups, correct adapter configuration, and patient verification are what truly prevent mistakes. I'd be interested to hear your opinion as well. Do you prefer copying BMW keys directly like this, or do you usually add keys to the vehicle using diagnostic programming? Here's a small tip that many technicians don't realize. Even after successfully copying a key, it's a good habit to store the original .bin backup files in a dedicated folder labeled by vehicle identification number. Months later, if a customer loses every key or another technician needs to continue to work, that backup file can save hours of diagnostic time. If this walkthrough helped you understand the process better, let's set a small goal for this video. Let's try to reach 1,000 likes and 100 comments. Drop your thoughts, your questions, or even your own workshop experience in the comments. Sharing real technician knowledge is what makes this community stronger. And if you're watching Baabji Motors but haven't subscribed yet, consider hitting that subscribe button and sharing the video with someone who works with BMW Diagnostics. Only a small percentage of viewers are actually subscribed, and subscribing genuinely helps the channel grow, reach #1 in this niche, and continue producing in-depth technical guides like this. Creating detailed tutorials takes a lot of research, testing, and time in the workshop, and your likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions directly support that effort. If any tools mentioned in this video are available through affiliate links in the description, using those links is another way you can support the channel while getting the same equipment used here. Thanks again for spending your time here at Baabji Motors. Keep learning, keep improving your skills, and as always, happy diagnosing.